Hello, I'm back! Now we're going to talk about the writing process. So for many people, their experience with writing, K-12, has always been write, turn in, and that's it. You get a grade. And it's never really been about the revision. And revision is the biggest part of the writing process. Anything that you ever read in the newspaper, in a book, in a magazine article, a grant proposal, a formal letter, a speech, any of those have gone through this writing process. And this is what your portfolio is meant to reveal your process of doing. So here's what it is. It starts with pre-writing. And that is, before you get into putting anything on the page that's your poem or your story, you want to think through and begin to brainstorm some ideas. What is it you want to write about? When you get to the short story, it might be, well, who's this character you want to write about? And what setting and why that story, and tell me. And so you have some pre-writing work that you need to do on your own, okay? Initially. And then you get to writing your first draft. This is always a little messy. It's never going to be your final product. It's never going to be great, but it should be complete, meaning don't just do 2 paragraphs and that's your first draft. If it's a story, give me the whole story as you know it right now. Your poem, your whole poem, as you have it right now. Okay? So that's a first draft. And then what we end up doing is we get feedback from someone, and then, let me consult my drawing here. We get feedback from somebody, okay? And that feedback hopefully is helpful. Many times this initial feedback looks like editing and grammar mistakes and spell check, and that's not helpful. That kind of editing you need on your final draft. But what I'm going to give you, and what I'm going to teach you to give in later sessions, is the kind of feedback that's helpful. And that is, who's the story really about? What does it sound like the theme is? I felt really emotional in this section and connected to your protagonist, but now I'm kind of checking out. And you have a great rising action and then it just falls off. So feedback about the big picture of your piece. Okay? Then you take that feedback and you go back into, you're not pre-writing anymore, but now we're going to do some revision. Some reflection and some planning. Okay, so I go back into this. So initially it was pre-writing, and now it's some pre-writing, but within my process going into my revision. So what do I think of this feedback I just got? And what do I think of my first draft? I don't like my protagonists, so why would an audience like them? Or the feedback says the theme is A, and I don't want that. That's not a theme I want to emerge in my piece. So you got to do some reflection and some planning. Okay, so what kind of changes do I make? And it's not spell check again. It's what major ideas do I have to change in my piece. And then you move into, the second time through, is this revision. Okay? So this arrow always represents kind of my thinking and my planning. Thinking, planning, kind of letting the brainstorming and creative energy go all over the place. This is actually where I'm doing some kind of writing or rewriting. And this stage is where I'm getting input, feedback. And any good writer has gone through this numerous times. I want to encourage you, there's some people that rewrite things 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 times. I'm working on a script right now, and I'm on my 31st draft. Okay, so I just want to encourage you that having to go through this 3 or 4 times is normal. Okay? It'd be the same if you're writing an essay or a very important letter or speech. Okay? So we're going to start with, when we talk about genres, and you're going to have to do some pre-writing on your own, and your first draft, and send it to me. You'll get feedback. Okay? And then you're going to go into, okay, so what does all this mean for what I have to do to my piece? Plan for some changes, and then go into a rewrite vision. And then you're going to submit it to some friends for some feedback. Then you're going to make some planning again, and you go to a third draft, and you're going to send it off. And you're going to actually go through this process 3 times. Okay? It will be powerful to see how your piece changes from start to finish. I think even you will be surprised how that works. So that's the writing process.